The moment that account blew, person who I thought I was also died with that account. People think that trading with small accounts and getting them to these type of numbers is a great thing, and it's not. You're living in constant stress. Flipping an account is not a strategy. Let's just start there. Guys, the Forex trading industry is not what you think it is. There's a vicious monster that swallows a lot of these people whole. That is such a deep question. That is such a loaded question. I got to a place where I just felt like I was in God mode. Like nobody could touch me.
Hi guys, we are committed to bringing you guys quality content, and your support is extremely valuable to us. And there are a few ways in which you can support the channel. Firstly, by subscribing to the channel, and secondly, we are partnered with PrimeXBT as our official broker sponsor. You can use the link in the description below to open your trading account today, and that will be another way of showing support. Enjoy today's conversation. Hey, what's up guys? Nqobile Tembane from Top Trader, and I'm bringing you guys another installment of Market Masters. And today I have a very special guest. I've been waiting for this one for quite some time, and it's finally happening. I have the ADHD Trader. I have Khanyisa Mnisi with me today. Hi, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
I am great. I'm excited for today.
And
I
know.
And I think we're gonna have some proper conversations.
100%. I'm an open book. So
I know that.
Whatever you want to ask.
Let's go.
No limits, no restrictions, yeah.
On that note, you once turned 5,000 Rand to 880,000 Rand and lost it all.
In one trade.
In one trade. Walk us through all that. Let's start with that.
Okay, so it was during COVID though. So obviously, with COVID, there was a period where just before the lockdown happened and everything was getting intense, I had actually lost my job. And long story short, I was in and out of trading. But obviously I wasn't really taking it seriously because I did have a job at the time. And such a weird period, actually, now that I think about it.
From your daily life to global markets, the line is thinner than you think. Energy, rhythm, choices around you, never standing still. What feels ordinary is part of something greater. PrimeXBT turns what surrounds you into opportunities.
And then lost my job, and then COVID came, and obviously you're stuck indoors and got nothing to do. All these things that you have planned during COVID and the lockdown, it quickly becomes either boring or you've already completed it. And then, so I was dating someone at the time, and she was going through this whole entire thing of I don't see where this relationship is going, you don't have any goals, you don't have any ambitions, those type of chats, right? And she was already having her own thing. She was a nurse and obviously constantly working, and she was building to something, but I was always at home at this point and really didn't have any form of direction. And then it was one of those things where it's oh, I don't have any ambitions, I don't have any goals, I'll show you type of a vibe, right? Long story short, obviously that relationship came to an end, but there were so many things that had piled up before that that led me to the path that I was going on in terms of the trading thing. I just found out that I had ADHD as well, and I was dealing with a lot with family things, and then obviously my relationship came to an end. I didn't have any friends at the time, and so it was a point of just being lost. And then I needed something. I could feel myself going into a very, very, very deep and dark, depression, right? And I knew just one of those type of depressions where if I wasn't actively working towards something, that it would be a very tough thing to come out of it. So I made like a pact with myself, and I was like, I wanted to do something that my future self would be proud of, and something that would get me out of bed every morning. And it turned out to be trading. And then I got to a place in trading where, because I locked myself in my room and I was just going through course after course, YouTube videos after YouTube videos, I got to a place of, in a weird way, really understanding and just being able to adapt to the markets. Or so I thought at that time, right? And I'm pretty sure a lot of traders, I don't know if you've noticed or picked up then, there were a lot of like popular traders who seemed to be, they wouldn't like, the economy of COVID was not touching them, especially traders. They were just constantly making money. And so, got into the trading thing, and then sold a couple of things to also just fund my account. And then I was like, I had this God complex of sorts. I felt like I just knew, where the market was going every single time, right? And so, I had a 5,000 Rand account. I put everything into it. And literally, I was just trading everything and any setup that just came my way, whatever the currency pair was, whatever the indice, I was there. I was literally there. And the COVID markets, I'd like to say, when the markets were still going through COVID and everything, it was pretty easy to trade that. And so, because obviously, NASDAQ all the time, 3:30, New York session, it was going up all the time, And I didn't even know as to why it was going up, but it was just going up. We just knew buy every 3:30 type of thing. So it took me about like 5 to 6 months to really grow that account, hey? And looking back on that, I would never trade the way that I trade now. I would never do it, because it was one of those things where I had no risk management, and I was just picking and choosing and, any, mini, money, mo, whatever lot size there was type of thing, especially currency pairs. And it got to about 880,000. And that's when I should have just been like,
I mean, even at half a bar, even at 250.
Now when I think about it, I'd be like, I should, now that I have the knowledge that I have now, it should have been that thing of like, okay, it's good, we're grand, let's get out type of a thing. And it wasn't those type of flips where, how people are like, I took 5,000 and then made 180 in like 3 days. It was literally like me trading every day consistently. And this time I was never trading fundamentals. I was never trading news. And I got to a place where I just felt like I was in God mode. Like nobody could touch me. And then I had a trading partner at the time. And he was also like, he left Dubai. He was in Dubai. And he saw that I was just doing so well with the trading stuff. And he was like, listen, I will quit my job in Dubai. And he was headhunted in Dubai. Oh, yeah. They picked him and they said, we want you to come and work, project management vibes. We're doing, hotels. We're doing, we're building new apartment blocks. We want you to come and like head the stuff. He was in Dubai and he literally flew back. The moment that he was able to come back home, he flew back to SA and he was like, listen, teach me. And let's do it, right? And we were on like a swell run, hey? He was on the synthetic side of things. I was on the Forex side of things. And then it came to, I think, January 2022. So it was recent. January 2022, first NFP. And we were like, we're doing so well. So well. And we were planning it for the entire week. We didn't know how to understand fundamentals. We didn't know what affected, affected NFP, what made NFP move the way that it moves, right? We just thought that with the knowledge that we have already, we can do this, we're in God mode, And then, NFP came and took buys on NASDAQ, right? Took buys on NASDAQ. We even jumped into the trade like 10 minutes before, right? And in my mind, I had already planned what I was going to be doing with this money. Because I was like, listen, if I can push it to just like about 1.5, just that, right? I was going to be paying up like 2 years worth of rent up front. I was going to buy myself a car, you know, everything sorted. Maybe not trade for a bit, maybe focus on like putting that money into like businesses or whatever. I had planned for that money completely. We jump into the trade around like 20 past, quarter past, was 2 at that time. And then, wait, it was January, so it had to be 3:30, quarter past, can't remember, you know, with the whole daylight saving thing. And then, we were up. We were genuinely up. We were up, and I'm watching this thing going to about 900K, and then it's just touching $1 million. And I'm just like, yo.
Wait, so the account balance was sitting on 880?
It was 880. It was
not
literally,
equity.
It was account balance 880.
Jeez.
Literally. And it took 5 to 6 months to get there. Right. Yeah. And then, I'm watching it, and we're already celebrating. We're just like, yo, we're going to take our girls out tonight, you know, going to go for a nice dinner. Wah, 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 wah. And then, cool. NFP clocks in, and it literally goes up. And I'm seeing it, and I'm like, you know, 1.3, we're nearly there. And obviously it was a spike. It was a spike. So spiked all the way up to the upside. And then all of a sudden it just tanked so quickly to the downside. And I'm looking at it. And then I'm seeing we're now just dropping. And then my partner is sitting next to me. I'm not telling him what's going on. He's sitting next to me and he's just watching. And then we're like, no. I'm thinking in my mind, we can recover this, right? We can recover this, right? I was still, you know, like, yeah, okay, cool, fine. Draw down. I literally went to the bathroom, try to like, you know, splash some water in my face, just be like, listen, we cool. We're going to be okay. I came back and my partner was like, oh yeah, I blew my account. But he didn't risk that much. Can't remember what he had risked initially. But the moment that I heard him say, I blew my account, I knew that it's not looking good here. And it took me like about 5 minutes to actually look at my, you know, MetaTrader and see the damage that I've done. But I'm watching the charts and I'm just like, there's no way that my account is still okay. And then I check my MT4, I look at it, and as I look at it, out. I looked at it, my whole entire like work for those 5 to 6 months, gone. And I sat there in like the most painful silence. And my trading partner's like, are you good? And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. But I couldn't express to him what I've done because in that moment, I felt so stupid. I felt so stupid. I felt like, I think for me, that was such a turning point in my trading. I felt so stupid. I felt like a failure, you know? And you know, when people say Forex is a scam, that's when I felt like, okay, no, Forex is a scam. And I had withdrawn often before that time. So it wasn't a scam.
From that particular account?
Not from that particular account. I had multiple accounts actually.
Okay.
Because I was told from somebody who also used to be a part of like, we had like a little trading trio. And then the moment that he got like popular and stuff, he kind of like dipped and was like, I don't need you guys, bye. But he gave me some valuable like insights on like, guys, you know, we should have multiple trading accounts for different reasons. So for builds, for like long-term goals, for short-term goals, don't put everything into one account. So this account that I had blown, right, was mostly like a test account. But because it had grown so much, I didn't focus on the other accounts. I'm focusing on like, oh, like, this is the account. Like everything that he had told me about, like, don't put your focus on everything on one account type of thing, went out the window because I was getting such a rush from the fact that this is what I could build. This is what I could make, you know? And having ADHD, and you don't, like with ADHD, right, guys, you lack dopamine like every single day. And if there's no spark in the things that you need to do, or you can't get it from anywhere else, you're going to find some form of an addiction in other things that constantly gives you like that rush. And trading did constantly give me that rush. So that account that I was building get added to that rush every single day. You know, the moment that I would look at all the other accounts that I had where there was like a K there, 2,000 there, it was like, that's nothing to me because I'm seeing such big numbers on MetaTrader every single day. And then obviously the account completely blew. I felt like a failure. I felt like I was stupid. I felt like I was completely done with trading. Like, I even tell my students today that I'm like, I still feel that trauma, even now. Because it is like, it's a financial trauma.
Literally. And people actually don't talk about that. The effects of blowing an account and of blowing a lot of money.
Yeah, nobody ever talks about that. And that's why I feel as if even with my account on TikTok, I'm always so vocal about it. Like I'm always speaking freely about the fact that, guys, people don't speak about, you know, the journey of getting to being profitable, right? I literally just recently posted a TikTok of before trading, I was hella skinny, like I was decent.
Oh no, I saw it.
You saw that TikTok, right? And then bam, here I am, you know? And the thing is that with my ADHD, right? Obviously, I'm constantly seeking for dopamine. So the money is a part of the dopamine rush that I get. And then obviously when it's not coming, I get stressed. I stress eat a lot, you know? So it's very intense. Like me getting to where I'm at with my trading mentally is very, 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 very difficult. And I'm always so open with people who go into my DMs and say, hey, listen, I'm going through this, I'm going through that. And I try to guide them as best as possible. And I locked myself in my room again after losing that account.
Yeah, because when does reality actually, because obviously in that moment, I think you're so detached from yourself because you're not understanding what
just happened. Like it got to a point where even 2 weeks after the whole situation had happened, there was a part of me that was like, nah, that didn't happen. You know, like, nah, that didn't happen. And then I'd look at the accounts and just be like, yeah, it did. Like it did happen, you know?
Sure.
And I wanted to quit trading so bad because, and then it was something more of like, and this is what I speak about a lot on my TikTok page where I'm just like, this is where that stage, I started not blaming myself. There was some like deludiness attached to it. I started blaming the strategy. I was like, if the strategy is so good, then it wouldn't have put me in that predicament of blowing my account. Meanwhile, it was me. There was no stop loss. No stop loss was there. There was no risk management. I didn't even know how to trade fundamentals. So what am I doing trading fundamentals? I didn't know what affected fundamentals. I didn't know why price was going to go up. Forecast versus previous, knew nothing of that sort, knew nothing, you know, never even looked at Forex Factory and just decided to learn like, okay, this is how, you know, A, B, C, D, F, G is going and stuff like that. This is how this works and this works and that works. I just vowed that I was never, ever going to trade anything fundamentals ever again, which has recently changed because it was only just recently now with my students. I hadn't traded fundamentals since then. And it happened last year where my students were like, hey, because I literally told them, I don't do fundamentals. If you want to find someone else that teaches fundamentals, go ahead, but you're not going to get that from me. Because literally I was so done with fundamentals. That trauma, I still carry it around. And I have like the best students in the world, I'd like to say. And I think it's because of how open I am as a mentor. And they're also open back with me. And they came to me as a group. They were like, listen, we kind of want to learn fundamentals and we don't want to go seeking elsewhere because we've just created such like a strong rapport with you as our mentor. And then I was just like, but I told you guys, I would never do fundamentals ever again. I'm very traumatized from it. And eventually I was like, you know what? I'm going to use this as a teaching moment for myself. Teach myself how to also understand see if, I can teach it back to them. And then, eventually I did go back to fundamentals, and I realized even more how stupid I was back then. I was just like, if I had taken the time to actually just learn this, and then, so yeah, but hey, fundamentals, I still have trauma from that NFP. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
You're quite brave, actually, going back to fundamentals. What actually hurt more? Was it losing the money or losing who you thought you were?
Losing who? That is such a deep question. That is such a loaded question. Losing who I thought I was. Because speaking of that, going back to like the whole breakup and all of that I went through, and I hate speaking about it, but it's the catalyst for helping me find who I am actually now. But like I said, I didn't know who I was after the breakup because everything was so attached to that relationship. Yeah. Friendships, goals, and this and that, and then it got to a point where I had realized that I had ADHD, and I was mourning parts of myself, parts of my life that I had envisioned for myself, who I wanted to become, the goals that I wanted to have, and this and that, and the moment that I got into trading and I saw what I could accomplish, I 100%, there was a part of me that I thought this was who I am that got very attached. And the sad thing is that, I think this is probably just going to be about the mental side of trading. But when it comes to, as an example, men, for an example, right? A lot of who they are, their beings, their goals, it's always attached to money. I don't know, because the society has made it a thing like that, right? Yeah. Where if you don't have money, then you can't have this type of woman. If you don't have this money, then you're not this type of person mentally. Your personality shouldn't be matching that because you're broke and this and that. Your goals cannot be there because who you are is not, it's all attached to money. And I attached myself very much to the money. I think all of us, we all do, because people envy that. They want that. The money that they see that these traders make online, we all just to some degree attach ourselves. Like, if I can make this amount of money, every week or every day from trading, then I can do this goal. I can obtain this. I can obtain that. And I was getting to a stage where I just felt like I could literally be whoever I wanted to be, get whatever I wanted to have, I really did feel that way. And then the moment that account blew, person who I thought I was also died with that account. Sure. And it was back to a stage of like, who am I? What am I doing? Like, is this thing ready for me? Do I, go back to school? Do I get a degree? Because I didn't further my studies either. And so the fact that I was able to learn this stuff on my own and then see the work that I have put into this account, like, yeah, of course, like, who I thought I was completely died. And that wasn't even the first time I felt myself dying with that account. It happened with my first funded account as well too.
Okay.
I attached a lot of, again, who I am, my successes, to the accounts that I had, and it's such a terrible place to like be in and experience, and because we all know in this industry, eventually, one way or another, it's gonna blow or something's gonna happen, etc., etc. So yeah, no, you're right about that. It was definitely attaching who I was to the account. So yeah.
So I actually wanted to talk about life leading up to that point right now, but we'll go a little bit all the way back.
It's okay.
Yeah, we'll go all the way back and just talk about upbringing. How was your upbringing? And then
my upbringing, I'd like to say that I had a normal upbringing. I mean, like just before when we started recording, I told you that my dad wasn't necessarily there. He was there for a period when my mom and my dad were married, but he moved further and further and further and further into the back. But it's literally been my mom my sister and I, since my parents got divorced, it's just been the three of us, my aunt included, who's based in the Eastern Cape. But I'm going to be real with you guys, and I've been very real as well on my TikTok page. I don't come from a background where I had to fight and claw my way into certain lifestyles. I've grown up with it. I literally have. My mom was well off when she was growing up. My dad was a doctor. So I come from a family of doctors. So I didn't really have a struggling type of background.
No rags to riches.
Yeah, I have no rags to riches story. And that's why when people say, show us your lifestyle and stuff, I'm just like, I'm accustomed to this. This is my normal life. I'm not saying that I'm super rich and I come from this family.
Yeah.
No, but whenever I wanted something from my parents, I got it. I went to different private schools. I did the whole thing. I've lived in Sandton since I was still in Sandton even now. So it's a norm to me, if that makes any sense. I've been around the money. I've been around the cars. I've been around, thankfully, not to other people's, experiences where they've gone to places financially where, they don't know where their next meal is coming from. I don't know that vibe, but there's been times when money has been tough and we had to but my upbringing was good. It was genuinely good. But the difference is that obviously you do feel certain effects with a single parent. I think every child does, whether you may feel as if, oh no, it doesn't affect you. It shows up in certain instances and stuff. What I do vocalize a lot is that even though I have come up from a place of just everything's cool, everything's grand, I have developed financial traumas that do come from my mother that has reflected in my trading as well and how I trade and this and this and that. And people are going to look at me and be like, how? But my mom came from a place where, because all of the financial responsibilities were on her, she obviously had to navigate it differently. And she still does even today, but she operates from a place of she fears that she might just lack in certain areas. So she will bulk buy things on Black Friday where she'll be like, no matter what happens, it will not run out type of the thing, And like I said, because she had to take on the financial brunt herself, she's always had that anxious attachment to money where she'll be like, oh, if you're getting this amount of money, then you need to make sure that this is taken care of. Otherwise, this is going to happen to you. There's never been a point where my mom has had a healthy relationship with money since she became a single parent. Everything is doomsday. You need to save. You need to put your money here. The moment you spend something nice on yourself, she'll be like, you're wasting money. You're supposed to save it, And eventually, it does get into your head where you now start thinking okay, now you're holding on too tightly to certain trading accounts. Now you're not giving your trades room to breathe. You're now just, when your trade goes into drawdown, you start self-sabotaging because you're like, okay, this is the only account that I have. If I lose this account, I'm wasting money. It starts slowly trickling into how you do things. And people think that trading with small accounts and getting them to these type of numbers is a great thing, and it's not. You're living in constant stress of trying to not lose that account, trading with that account that you're not supposed to be trading with because it's meant to be going to things that you genuinely do need. And I could have money to splurge in terms of making multiple trading accounts, but my mom's voice will always ring in the back of my mind where she'll be like, this money could be going to that, just by the way. And then when you blow that account, you're just like, damn, that money could have gone to that. But you're now not seeing it as you learning, growing in the trading space. And a lot of us do come into trading with a lot of financial trauma, and nobody ever speaks about that.
Yeah.
And it's even now with my students, I hear their reasonings as to why they're getting into trading. And I don't want to be that person that says, no. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I'm just like, okay, now we're getting to a place where I feel as if maybe trading is just not right for you. But people come to trading and they look at trading and they see that it's going to be like their life-changing, situation, their financial breakthrough and all of that stuff. And, I don't want to take away that from them because, what if trading ends up becoming that thing for you that ends up helping you? But I'm having students even coming to me now and they're like, if I can only make 2.5 every week, then I'll be able to take care of my kid. I'll be able to do this. I'll be able to do that. And when they come back to you with the results of what they've been experiencing when it comes to trading, and they're like, hey, listen, this is what happened to me. This is the mental state that I'm in. And it's just like, wow, like a lot of people are really going through a lot of things that, they don't openly talk about, but because you have that like personal relationship with them as their mentor, you just look at it and you're just like, wow, a lot of you guys are coming in with very intense financial traumas. And the sad thing is that you look at certain people who come into this industry and they're so good. They're so good at trading. Like I've had students who are better than me, where I'm just like, oh, they're teaching me things, right? But it's that financial trauma that basically prolongs, it stops them from getting to that place of like where they want to be,
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say? So yeah, financial trauma is a huge thing in trading. It's
in a lot of our lives, to be honest. It's crazy. You talking about your mom and how you inherited certain... And I don't know if it was part of a conversation I had recently or whatnot. But somebody was actually talking about how our parents or guardians are the first mentors we have in our lives.
Very true, yeah.
And I think we don't clock that as to we go out looking for other mentors unaware that we've been mentored by this person for 18 years of our lives.
Yeah.
The teachings that they've brought, we take from those. And sometimes a lot of us get to a point where now you turn 18, you become an adult, you go to varsity. Now you need to do a lot of unlearning.
Yes.
A lot of unlearning because you realize that actually I don't like that. And which it also falls into the current state of our mentorship in the Forex industry, where a lot of people don't clock is that there's so much that you don't need from that particular mentor. And you people keep running, and a lot of people keep running to those guys and be like, yo.
Now that you bring up the whole mental thing and picking up all of that, I think even with my claim to fame on TikTok is that I had gone through close to 50-something courses from different mentors. And then obviously people online will be like, well, we don't believe you. So I had to flip open my laptop and do a video and just be like, here's everyone that I've gone through. Like, yeah. And literally that, what I've picked up from that is that you do realize that I don't need that. I don't need this. I think even my, not to like, I don't want to seem like I'm promoting it, but even with my mentorship and how I ended up like becoming a mentor, there was a lot of things that I thought, oh, I'm going to take from this person, I'm going to take from that person and this and this and this. And the time when it came for me to like put it down was just like, yeah, no, that, no, this, no. This, that. And it's actually sad because a lot of people think that if they go to this mentor, they'll definitely get that.
Yeah.
And they go to that, and it's just a forever cycle that they end up just staying in, where it's just like this vicious cycle where they're like, okay, I'm not getting this from this mentor, so I'm going to go to that one, and I'm going to go to this one. And then people come to me and they're like, yeah, so-and-so is my mentor, but they're not doing this, they're not doing that. And then they'll realize, they'll come to me and then they'll just be like, oh, but you guys are similar in the things that you teach and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, like this thing of just you thinking that this person's going to do it for you. And in actuality, the person that's going to help you do it is really yourself. I know it sounds so cliche. It sounds very cliche.
But it's not as simple to people, though.
It's not as simple to people. And there was a point in my trading where I was genuinely on the verge of quitting. I literally went to my current girlfriend right now, who's been such a major factor in me being even where I am today with ADHD Trader and all of that stuff. Super, super supportive. I went to her, I was crying. And I was like, I don't want to do this trading thing anymore because I blew my first funded account.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I don't want to do this trading thing anymore. And she was like, okay, cool. What's this? You can quit, but what's the next thing? And I sat there and I was like, actually, what is the next thing? I've given my whole entire life, like I've dedicated my whole entire life to this trading thing. And she was like, you're going to have to start from scratch if you still want to keep this. Because it got to a point where I had such intense chart burnout. Like I woke up one morning and what I was seeing on the charts, I couldn't understand. Like it felt like someone took out my brain and was like, read the charts again. And it just wasn't clicking.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I was understanding the correct trend. I didn't even understand like, okay, this is what price is trying to tell me. Okay, what's next? It got to a point where everything that I'd learned from all of those different mentors, I'm now trying to put it on one chart. Trying to put it on one chart to make it make sense that, okay, I'm now using like 5 different strategies to help me understand directional bias of what the market is trying to tell me. I'm now trying to add higher time frames into smaller time frames. I'm trying to shove it into one. I'm trying to do all sorts of, nothing was coming to me, nothing. And she was just like, and this is when I went back to go through all of those courses, go into YouTube again. I was going through ICT, I was going through all of these people, like da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And every time I looked at what they were teaching me, I was like, I know this stuff. What is going on? And I would wake up the next morning, go back onto the charts again, nothing. And then she was like, I think you just need to unlearn everything and then try build from a place of just try and find yourself there. Like find out who Khanyisa is on the charts. Who don't try and trade exactly like all of these people that you learn from. Just try and just open up the charts, even if it's hard, just write notes of how you understand the charts, right? And I got back into that place. And funny enough, what made me more profitable again was the first strategy that got me to 880K. I had dropped that strategy.
And it's funny. and that's where a lot of people's profitability is chilling.
Right there. Do you understand? And it was one of those things where it's just like, oh my gosh, like if I had stuck, because the moment that I thought that strategy didn't work, SMC and ICT were the things that were coming up at the time. And I always say that they're the whole ICT and MCC, like, you know, situation, it's like a cult.
Yeah, literal.
It's a literal cult. And I was a part of that cult.
Oh, okay.
I was 100%.
I'll fight you right now to the death.
I will fight you to the death. You know, I'd fight you to the death. Yeah. And I locked myself in my room again for 6 months and I was just learning everything SMC, ICT. And it got to it was so bad at that stage where people were saying, oh yeah, if you're not using SMC or ICT, you'll never be profitable. And it's the holy grail and this and that, etc., etc. And if you lose a trade, it's your fault. Like you'd literally be listening to mentors just brainwashing you and saying, hey, no, it's your fault if the trade goes against you, type of a thing. And it got to that stage where it's just like, okay, it's my fault. So here's me attaching myself not only to just accounts, I'm attaching myself to a strategy, my whole entire trading being, the success that I want from it, the career that I hope to achieve from it. I'm attaching myself to this and stuff. And then it even got to a point where I'd go into people's lives like a crazy person and they would be trading something simple like break and retest. And I'll be like, oh, you know, I'd just start trolling them and telling them that, hey, listen, your strategy doesn't work. Like at all, you know, I'd be fighting with them and, you know, like literally I was that person, a proper keyboard warrior, right? And eventually, it just got to a stage where I got complete chart burnouts and nothing was making sense. And my girlfriend was like, go back to in the very beginning, what was working for you. Lo and behold, it was break and retest.
Done.
The same strategy that was making me money then, and I was really at my most successful. I went back to that, and then everything else, the way that I saw the charts and how I understood it, you know, I was creating that confluence for myself, and that's what I try and tell so many people. I'm like, I don't want you guys to trade like me. You need to trade as yourselves.
Sure.
Do you understand? Like, at the end of the day, I've met people who trade the same way as me, but they'll pick up on certain, they see, I don't know how many times I've seen it, how people see charts differently. Like, it just shocks me all the time, where you think that trading has to be like this rigid type of step-by-step plan, but they'll have their own type of way of just finessing the charts, and it works for them, and it shows that it works and how profitable they are, you know? And I always advise people, like, yeah, you know, it's great that you might have these mentors that you look up to, but at the end of the day, it's what's preventing you from getting to a place of maybe just being profitable is because you're trying to be like them and not yourself on the charts. You understand?
I like that you've already mentioned this, that you've taken courses from several people. You've taken courses from well-known mentors, mentors who are supposedly rich. But my question is to you now, because you know what's happening right now, and it's a cycle that I don't think is going to end anytime soon. Everyone keeps switching. They keep changing this course, that course. And you've been through that process. Yeah. So I'm going to ask you, since you've been through the process, why aren't you rich?
Why aren't I rich?
Yeah.
Like these mentors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Again, it falls back on the traumas. So I remember I was actually speaking to a couple of other, you know what's... It's so funny. I went to go and I spoke to this guy specifically before he turned out to be, I'm not going to mention names, but it turns out he was a scammer. But he was some guy that I looked at and I was like, we trade the same, like, you know, and what makes you different to me? You know, you're making the hundreds of thousands every day type of vibe, you know. And here I am, I'm making like that honest living. Like, people ask me, oh, how much do you make a month? And it's not impressive to them. It's not impressive. I'm like, I clear like about 50, 60 a month, you know? And it's just to get like my, what's this? I just want to get to a place of I can take care of myself. You get what I'm trying to say? I don't need a job to go out and just have them tell me what apartment I can have in terms of rent according to my salary. Or I don't want to be like controlled due to a salary that comes in every month. And I've always said this to like my TikTok audience and my students as well, is that if you can like create a life for yourself that doesn't require you going into a 9-to-5, you've won at trading. Finished. You've won. And a lot of my financial traumas, I'd like to say, have affected me in maybe becoming rich. And I'm not going to hide it. Like, I know I can go way more than this. But what people aren't honest about is that a lot of our financial traumas, our responsibilities behind closed doors, they hold us back. And if you look at a lot of these mentors as well, who are claiming that they're rich, obviously I've now gotten into the industry and I've seen what they've seen. And a lot of who they are and the successes aren't really attached to themselves. It's to the audience. Do you get me? And it's kind of like brainwashed a lot of our people as well too, where it gets to a point where it's like, oh, you're not driving an M4, you're not driving an M5, then you're not making it type of a thing. But I'm watching these mentors choke on a daily basis because they're out there trying to prove that they have this type of money. And from the moment I got onto TikTok as well, I was like, I don't owe anything to either one of you guys but myself. Do you understand? And yes, I could go a lot more higher and make the money, but I know that I have demons that I still need to deal with financially.
Sure.
Do you understand? And people, because of the platform that I've created, they expect you to have you rush yourself to get there. And what they don't even realize is that what makes people rich, there's a lot of other competing factors. It's not just from trading alone. Like they probably have other businesses, they have other commitments. I mean, they have this, they have that, they have specific retainer deals with their brokers. You know, it's not necessarily 110%. It's within the trading, because I can vouch for you right now, and I'm going to say this out loud, is that trading isn't the thing that's going to make you rich. It's not. It will never be, because of how much risk you'd need to put in. When you see people put in R1 million, why are you putting R1 million as a deposit, for an example? Why are you putting in 100K? Like the fact that you know that you can blow 100K today. Listen to the gravity of 100,000 rand being blown. You're going to take 100,000 rand out of your own money like it's nothing, and you're comfortable with just blowing it. Like, would you be comfortable with blowing 100K? Like, hey, it's 100K, I'm putting it in. If it blows, it blows. The thing is that a lot of us have never been accustomed to knowing what 100K in your bank account feels like.
Yeah.
And because you don't know what it feels like to have 100K, the moment that you're up even just about 30K, a lot of you guys are not going to be holding that trade. 100%, there's no way. There's no way. That's why I say your financial traumas will start kicking you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, for me, I was just growing and growing. And it was a stage where I didn't have that type of financial trauma until I experienced it. Where I was just like, boom, I've lost an 880K account. You know? I've lost it. Now you know what it feels like to have maybe 880K and then lose it. And now you start getting attached to money. You start getting really, really, really attached to money. And this is why when people are like, yeah, no, I've held accounts, like I took what's this? 10K all the way up to 5 mil. And then you start and you start you know, doing your research about this person and that and this and this and that. And a lot of people don't actually know that the way that they trade and where their mental state is at in terms of trading, they basically expose themselves, and just like the little things that they do online and this and that, etc., etc., etc. And a lot of these traders, right, they have like a lifestyle and an upkeep that they have to uphold to the audience, right? And they find themselves in such vicious cycles of just, oh yeah, I'm going to pump in another 2 grand. I'm going to try flip it, you know? And these people don't know that how these guys flip accounts, it's like once after how many accounts that they've blown in the process. Do you understand? Like, it's something that is not, I feel as if I'm rambling, but it's something that I feel as if I'm trying to teach people. Doing that, it's not healthy. It's not consistent.
Yeah.
It's not good. You know,
not at all. I wish to see a person's, that profit loss.
Yeah.
I wish to see for the whole account.
Yes, exactly. If everybody were to genuinely attach their accounts to my FX book, you'd see absolute flames. And this is why I say I wish mentors were genuinely honest, because we need that honesty in this industry. We need that transparency. I will tell people live jive, hey guys, I'm going through a rut. Like even now, I'm in probably like the worst losing streak right now that I'm experiencing in my trading.
Yeah.
To a point where it's also affecting me as a mentor to my students, because they're now expecting me to be like this. They want to see how does ADHD Trader get out of this? How does she make it out of this? And I'll tell my students dead straight, I'll be like, hey guys, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not where I'm at right now, and I kind of just need time. Can you please just be patient with me?
Does that apply any pressure on you being publicly out there as a trader?
All the time. It's actually affected my trading greatly, because obviously we're in an industry where it's very tainted, right? It's very tainted, and you're immediately guilty by association, like with immediate effect. The moment that you come out and say, hey guys, I'm a trader, you're put in the same umbrella with the scammers, right? And they're just waiting. They're waiting for you to like proper like slip up, you know? And when I got into the trading industry, I was like, yeah, cool, it's affected me, but I mean, what lacks right now is just honesty and transparency and just fully informed type of information and education, right? And I was like, if I'm open and honest about where I am, do they really, like, it honestly does just lessen the pressure type of a thing, you know? Like, I would literally post a trade where I'm like, hey guys, I'm losing, this is what happened. I'd break it down. And then people be like, yeah, you don't know how to trade type of thing. They're already there. They're like, yeah, you don't know how to trade, and you're out here like, you know, mentoring people and this and this and that. And I'm just like, the whole entire industry has been brainwashed. Like I said, you're expected to make the 500K every single trade. You're expected to be driving the M4s, the Golf GTIs, the this, the that, etc., etc. And I've always asked people, I'm like, why can't there are a lot of traders who are super successful and they lead such normal lives. And I know I mentioned it to you earlier, who my mentor was. I can't really like put it out there, but he makes a lot of money. Like, and I've always said this, you guys know him. Yeah. You guys know him. But because he doesn't flash it like that, you don't take him seriously. And this guy gives out such gems. And he lives such a quiet life with his wife, you know, and he's such a regular type of guy, you know. He spends his money on Legos, you know, he's such a chilled guy. And I'm like, you guys know him. You've attended seminars. But because he doesn't show it like that, you guys don't take him seriously. Until somebody does a 200 Rand tour. Anyway. So... That was funny. Sorry, I couldn't resist. We're still back by high school. Yeah. After high school, what happens? So after high school, I didn't know that I was battling with ADHD, but I was really bad in high school. I was really, really, really bad. And my teachers couldn't even understand as to why. You know, they'll be like, she's brilliant in class, but the moment when it comes to like basically doing things, exams and this and that, she's bad. Like she flops completely, right? And so my mom had to move me around different schools to try and figure out like, okay. And then after the moment that I completed high school, I was like, I'm never doing this again. I'm never going back to school, which I regret. But I didn't know then. I can still go back to school now, but I'm just a person like, yo, I'm so far gone. Like, do I need to type of thing? But I didn't go back to school. And obviously, it makes things... People always say like, yo, you don't need school. Trust me, in this country right now where we are at, to a degree, you still do need school. And I didn't complete school. I didn't continue with my studies to varsity. Like, the moment that I got my matric results, I was like, I'm good, I'm grand. And so initially what I wanted to do with my life, people always laugh at this, but I had such a strong connection to music. Okay. I had such a strong connection to music. And even in high school, I used to do like house parties. I even used to do like a couple of gigs at like Stones. I was a DJ at a time, right, at that stage. And really loved music, and I thought, okay, this is where I was going. But because I love money, and I love money very much, I don't allow it to rule my life, but if there's any chance that I can make an extra bit of money, I'm taking it. But I wanted to be behind the scenes with events, and I was doing like a couple of house parties. I did collaborate with a couple of, events companies and stuff like that, where I was just getting the gist of things. And then I wanted to do the whole DJing thing on the side. And then my mom was like, and that was then. Now it's a different game, but she was like, you're a woman.
Yeah.
What's this thing about you wanting to be a DJ? And that was that.
Hey, if only she
Completely
knew.
killed it. I was like, sharp, okay, cool. And I started working in the background in terms of events and stuff like that. But then South Africa was still in a place where they weren't ready for the type of ideas that I had.
Okay.
And then I worked a job. And then, trading is never anybody's dream. Nobody says, oh, when I grow up, I want to be a trader. It's never that. You start realizing that, because you haven't gone to school, what disadvantage, there's certain things that you're working from like not a disadvantaged place, but from a place where you're going to struggle, where things don't actually come easy and stuff. And then honestly, that's when I saw that maybe like how everybody sees Forex trading as a way out. But I see parents coming into my DMs on TikTok and they'll be like, my son wants to do trading and he doesn't want to continue with school. I'm like, I was like, please
take him to school.
Make sure he goes to school. It's okay. In terms of if you want to do it on the side. I have a lot of parents who've actually come to me and they say, hey, listen, you look like someone that is good at maybe teaching my son. And I'm like, okay, I don't mind teaching your son, but please factor school. It's important. People want to walk around and say, yeah, school's not important, because no, go to school, guys, go to school, finish school, get that degree. And there was somebody in the trading industry who he's very smart. And it disappoints me greatly that he went down that route so much. Obviously, I'm not going to mention names, but he was studying. I don't know if he's still doing it now, because we don't talk anymore, because he's gone down that route. I don't associate myself with scammers, but at the time he was studying, but he was doing the trading thing on the side, and he was studying something really smart. Where I was like, oh wow, I can see how you'd be good at this trading stuff, right? And I implored him. I was like, please, bruh, finish school. I was like, have trading on the thing on the side, Sometimes things happen in trading and you're just going to have to dust off that degree. I wish I had something like that where I can just dust off type of thing. If trading doesn't eventually, if it doesn't really stay consistent in my life like that. But I implored him with all my heart. I was like, bruh, finish school. I don't know if he's finished school, but I will always encourage you guys to finish school. So yeah, because it would suck if you come into trading and then you genuinely realize that trading is not your thing.
Again, trading is not for everyone. And I think the stats that 90% of traders are losing money does not scare people enough to understand that, hey man, it's not for everyone.
It doesn't scare people enough. And I'd be making TikToks because I'm trying to tell people, guys, trading is not easy. It affects you in here. And then I'll get people in the comment section who say, yeah, you want to gatekeep success from us. You want to do this, you want to do that. Why are you speaking so bad about trading? Yeah. And I'm like, we have to have these conversations. Because you're going to come into trading and then you're going to deal with A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then what? And you know what? Sometimes it's not even the fact that people are bad at trading. It's just there's so many factors that they didn't expect coming into trading, because it never gets spoken about. It never gets told. And then, and then they realize that A, B, C, D, E, F, G happens, etc. And then they sometimes don't have the tenacity, the emotional and mental tenacity to deal with it. I don't know if you had seen, there was an article I was written about 2 weeks back where Trump really tanked the markets. Everything.
Was it the crypto?
The whole crypto thing. Yeah. I remember looking at the charts that day and I was like, what is going on? I'm not trading at the moment because I need to step back. I'm in a rut, like I did say. Yeah. But I will like pop in and check the charts and see, okay, what's going on, especially with the whole US government shutdown. The markets are very, you don't know where it's coming or going type of thing. And I remember opening up the charts that one day and I was like, what is happening? Because everything just tanked that day. And then an article came out that close to about like 2,000 crypto traders have committed. And due to the whole tanking of the markets, because they've put their life savings into it, et cetera, et cetera. And this is the dark side about trading. There are people who commit. There are people who go into such financial ruts because they're so dependent that, this mentor is going to get me out of this and that, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They attach so much of it to this. And because you saw someone on your page come on and say, if you do my mentorship or you take my signals, you can make the same amount of money as me every day and you can drive the same car as me every day. And that is not the case. And you have to speak about these things. And that's why I say, go back to school, because it gets a lot more easier to trade when you know that you have something to fall back on. You know that I've blown an account, it's fine. Next month, my salary, I'll fund again, type of thing. Some people don't have that type of luxury to fund again. They're taking from their NSFAS. They're taking from, the allowance they get from their parents. They're thinking that, I can flip my rent money, and then they put it all into a trading account and then boom, they've blown the account on NFP and this and this and that. And then they'll come out and say, this so-and-so, this person is a scammer, made me blow my account. But then they've not been guided correctly into what you can expect on like the terrible sides of trading. So, yeah. I know it's an intense conversation, right?
It goes deep. It goes far deeper than what we can actually comprehend as people. So now, after high school, do you start working? Or
I started working. I was working at a place, I don't know if you know, a place called Bounce. Bounce. Oh, let me do my face. A place called Bounce. I started working at a place called Bounce. For those who don't know, it's a trampoline arena. And the money was good and stuff, but it's probably one of the places where made me realize that I don't think I ever want to work for anybody ever again. Like, I think that's what also fueled me in the trading industry was that I think the moment that I withdrew my first 10,000 Rand and I realized, this thing is real.
While working at Bounce?
No, this was after I'd left. I always tell the story that I was literally at work when I caught wind of what trading was about for the first time.
Okay.
I was at work and DJ Coach popped up. So...
I mean, traders have lives, right?
Yeah, DJ Coach popped up and I remember I was telling this guy next to me, I was like, bruh, like, look at this. This could be us, bro. This could be us. Like, we don't have to do this. And he was expecting a child at the time. So I was like, if we were to do this, your child will be completely sorted, for life. Look, making 300,000 Rand in like 1 minute, because the 1 minute strategy was the biggest thing at the time then.
Little did you know.
Little did I know that there was a lot more that goes into trading than just a 1 minute strategy. So I did work. I'm a huge gamer as well. So I worked at games. I worked at places such as BT Games.
Oh, nice.
And all of that. Yeah. But I knew I liked money, man. I really did. I still do. And even now, even before then, I had like a little side hustle business when I was still working at Bounce. I used to flip watches.
Oh, nice.
I have like this massive obsession when it comes to like luxury watches and stuff. And you know what's funny? Before the whole trading thing, I had Forex traders, well-known Forex traders, knock on my door wanting those watches. So I know it's a little bit illegal to say this, but I was flipping like Rolexes, like AAA replica Rolexes, where it looked really legit, like your Audemars Piguets, and they looked super, super legit. And you've had people on here who've knocked on my door and asked for those specific watches. Like, no jokes. So whenever I see your popular Forex gurus wearing those watches, I'm just like, I know for a fact that you can't afford the real thing. You cannot afford the real thing. So yeah, I have like a bit of that hustle mentality as well. But yeah, right now it's just been, after that, it's just been trading ever since, to be honest.
Let's actually talk about that. What actually goes into trade? I know this is probably a loaded question and probably it can't be answered in one sitting, but if you could just give an overview, what actually goes into trading? Because I think that's what a lot of people actually do not understand, how difficult it is. Yes, it's easy money. We know it becomes easy money at some point.
Yeah, it does.
But before it gets to that point, what is required of a person for?
It's a lot, eh?
Yeah.
Honestly, for me, and from what I've experienced, not just with myself, but with others that I've come into contact with, you need to be mentally there. And you need to be mentally there, and you do, guys, you do have to have the money. I say trading is a rich man's white hobby. It genuinely is. I mean, if you look at the traders before, and when you go deep into like the history of trading and stuff like that, it's a rich man's hobby. And how it's designed, it's not meant for people that look like you and me. Like I'm gonna be so dead honest about this, you know, and especially when you attend your events such as your FMIS and you this and you that, you really do see like the tier, the level of, you know, who are the big dogs in the industry, and there's barely people who look like you and me. I'm not trying to make it about race, but it's something that we actually have to like have a genuine look at, you know? And this is why it's so easy for brokers to pop up every 2 seconds. Every 2 seconds, in and out. So you need to have the money, because this is a really cutthroat industry. And I'm in the industry the way that I am, and obviously due to my platform, but I still get shocked at what I see behind the scenes. I still get shocked by that. And I feel as if we're still programmed for people of color to like lose at this game, you know? And that's a whole conversation for another day, but you need to have the money. The money is such an important thing. And it's not money that, it needs to be disposable income. Money that if you were to trade and throw into accounts and lose, it genuinely does not affect you. 100% it doesn't affect you. And you need to have the right mentality. Those are the 2 important things. And yes, you know, it's the same regurgitated stuff every time. Like, you know, it's, what's this? Trading is 90% mental and 10% this and stuff like that. But I feel as if it goes hand in hand. And through the mental stuff, you need to also understand how your environment is going to affect the way that you trade, right?
Yeah.
Do you have a support system? Do you genuinely have people who are going to support you, right? Or do you have family members who are looking at you and saying, hey, we're looking at you to kind of like provide for us and stuff like that. In order for you to really be successful in trading, nothing must be happening. Everything in your life needs to be stable. It honestly has to be stable, because I don't care what you say, it will show up. And it shows up a lot in ways where it's self-sabotage. And that self-sabotage, it's one of the I'd like to think it's not about the money that you have, right? It's that self-sabotage is the main reason as to why I feel as if that percentage is so high that 90% of traders fail. You do end up self-sabotaging, because it then affects the way that you learn how to trade. It affects the way that you just adapt to the trading environment and stuff like that. So yeah, you need to check, you have to do a whole self-introspection with yourself in terms of trading before you get into it. Do I have at least 1,000 Rand that I can dispose of every month that if I were to blow, it won't affect me? It's not coming out of my rent. It's not coming out of my school fees for myself or for my child. It's not coming out of groceries. It's not coming out. Like literally, if you can see like, okay, I have an extra 1,000 Rand here, I can blow it, cool. You know, and if you're the type of person where you're like, I do have a supportive system, you know, or okay, I'm going at it alone, because a lot of us do go into trading alone. And it's not because we don't want to do it alone. It's just people don't understand. Like I said, the moment you hear, oh, I'm in trading, the first thing I was told by my uncle, who I view very highly of, like, you know, he was like, you're going to lose money, you're going to lose. Literally, that's all I heard, right? And it just got to a stage where I had to do it by myself, you know, because people around you will end up disappointing you, or they will affect you mentally, and this and this and that. So there's a lot. It's such a layered thing of checking that you need to go through, that I feel as if that it's going to vary from person to person to person. But the two things that you need to start off with is, do you have the money, and how is my mental state going into it? And maybe your environment as well, yeah? Environment plays a huge role, yeah? So 3 things. 3 things, yes.
Let's talk about the crash out you had. Was it recently? Not recent, but like you had a crash out with the
quant trading thing.
Yeah, with the quant trading thing. I want to talk about that. That was like I think I saw it that time, and while I was preparing, I watched it again. I'm like, gee, this really.
Oh yeah, no, I crashed out heavy. Like I crashed out heavy. It was to a point where I was in tears type of crashing out. So I'm the type of person where I always want to like add to my learning. I feel as if with the trading, it just never stops, right? And so obviously my mentor, he's also a quant trader of sorts, right? And then I met someone else. And yeah, so I would post that I'm doing well on the market. So yeah, I did well, killed NFP, you know, and this and this and this and that. And then he would always send me like specific things of just like how he has this thing where, and I know it sounds crazy, sounds very, very crazy. He has this thing where he knows where the market is going to close by the end of the month, and it always goes there. It always goes there. Specifically, NASDAQ. You know what he does? On WhatsApp, he will post a price level number. I didn't know it was that. First of the month, he'll post a price level number there. I didn't know it was that. I just thought, whatever, right? He'll post his price level. And then, end of the month, he'll show that price is literally there. But I didn't know that until he started like showing me all of these things. So when I met up with my current mentor right now, right, I want him to teach me that stuff. I was like, please teach me this and this and this and this and that. And what everybody says in the quant trading space, they'll tell you that I can't tell you. As much as I want to tell you, I cannot tell you. This thing, the strategy is tied up with like legal work. It's not play, you know? And it's not that they're gatekeeping, but obviously when you come to a strategy that is so powerful and it's used not just for yourself, but like banks are now utilizing it and they're now trading it, and you've got hedge funds, all of these financial institutions that are depending on him to basically help them. He sits on boards of financial institutions, and he'll be like, listen, I can teach you on how to maybe just spot certain things and calculate things, but I can't teach you the exact strategy. And so he was the type of guy where he'd be like, go out, learn these things, read these books, and this and this and that, right? So I had a trading partner at the time. We're no longer friends anymore due to trading. Industry. But it's fine. Yeah. But he was also just teaching me and showing me about the industry of quant and mathematics and this and this and this, how traders also use astrology now and this and this and that. And I'll always be grateful to him for having shown me that side and expanded my knowledge. And then going back to this guy on WhatsApp, he'll post a price level every month, first of the month, no. And then by the end of the month, that's where price has gone to. Then he starts showing me his entries, and his entries are just like sniper. He's holding these trades, and he's just... So I was like, hey, listen, teach me this, I'll pay you for your time. If you can teach me this, I'll pay you for your time. And he starts laughing, and I'm like, why are you laughing? I want to learn. Like, I'm always eager to learn. So much so to a point where I will never make a person, not even in my mentorship and not even in my comment section. If someone can teach me something new that I don't know of the markets, comment section, my students or whatever, I'm going to want to learn. I'm going to adapt to it. I'm going to want to learn and see, And I was like, hey, listen, I'll pay you for your time. Tell me. He laughs at me and like, why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? And then he goes, you're probably thinking that my mentorship costs this much, like a normal mentorship that you normally pay for. And so I'm like, how much is it? And he goes, it's 100K. And I'm like, 100K, what? And he's like, yeah, I only take one student a year. And he first has to do an interview if you're worthy of taking his course, right? Because he's like, hey, if you were to like get hold of this, you're gonna do things, right? Like he can't just take anybody, right? Yeah. It's all about, he has to interview you in terms of like your environment, your mental state, your this, your that, etc. And he spends an entire year like mentoring you and you alone. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I can cough up like 100K. It will take me time, but I'll get it to you. Yeah, I'll get it to you. And then he was like, I can't take you though. And I'm like, why? And he's like, because of the person that you are. You're on social media. You're out there like that.
Yes, sir.
And I can't fully trust that. The moment that you know this information and you see the markets differently and you know how to trade and the money that you're going to make, he was like, I'm telling you right now, the type of money that you're going to be making from this, you could buy families, like DJ Coach says. You can buy families, And, I think I spent like 2 days trying to be like, no, but you know who I am, like, I'm not that type of a person, like, I'm not that type of a person. You can take me, you can. And he's like, okay, there's one thing that I need you to do for me. Go ghost on your social media accounts for a year. And I was like, So I can't exactly do that because I have commitments with like Think Markets and stuff like that. And I was like, I can't exactly do that. And he's like, well, okay. But the thing that he did was that he gave like bits and pieces of what his strategy consists of. Bits and pieces, numbers, just like vague things, And I was like grabbing onto every piece of information, And I just got to a point where I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to do this. By fire, by force, I'm going to do this, right? And then it got to a point where I realized, there's so much of like education that goes into this. This is not something that you can go on YouTube and just be like, because I was now going on YouTube, I was trying to type like, okay, quant strategies for trading. I went on to Reddit. I went on to all of these forums that never knew existed in the trading industry and stuff like that, I even try to go to like my mentor and be like, hey, am I on the right path about this? Am I on the right path of that, etc., etc. And I got caught up in a vicious cycle again, like a complete vicious cycle. I burnt myself out again. And it got to a point where even when I looked at the charts, I was just like, I'm not trading right. Like, I'm not trading right. Like, because every quant trader that I've met have always said it's not about price levels. It's not about candlesticks. Not about that. He was like, I know where the markets are going before the candle is even formed. That's how I know. That's how I trade. It has nothing to do with candlesticks. And it just got to a point where I was like, I was never good at math. So what makes me feel like I'm coming into a mathematical industry and I'm trying to be taught this? And then someone in my comment section was like, bruh, he was like, listen, there are people who make still hundreds of thousands, millions without this quant thing. Don't let it like get to your head too much.
Yeah.
And I think that was a comment where it's just like, actually, I can still attempt to try and learn these things, but I shouldn't forget who I am myself and how far I've come without that knowledge and still continue. If I keep pushing on the same path with what I know and how I trade, the information will get to me. It will meet me where I'm at.
Yeah,
and
I think there was a statement you said that the markets were never designed for retail traders during that.
That's still true.
You still stand by that?
I still stand by that. The thing is that the way that these quant traders walk amongst us, I will say this again, like they walk amongst us, and again, because they don't flash the way that you think a trader should be flashing or flexing, whatever they say, you'll never take what they say seriously. And they walk amongst us, and the things that I heard and saw, even just at FMIS, is just, this year alone is crazy to me. It's crazy to me. And I listened to my mentor, and he's got a bot running, and this bot basically like runs his entire like money management company. And he really he manages like really like wealthy people's monies and stuff like that. And this bot is opening up 1,000 trades a month. Where have you heard of that? 1,000 trades a month. It does 60-something% on something people deem useless in terms of making money. Euro USD.
Yeah.
It's not an indice, it's not a NASDAQ 100. And these people literally trade like the most basic currency pairs. And currency pairs that us retail traders look down upon.
Yeah, no, especially Euro USD.
Euro USD, it's not taken seriously, my guy. And literally, that's all he uses. He trades Euro USD, it gives him 62%. And this man is making mad amounts of money. And he's just like, no, has nothing to do with candles, has nothing to do with ICT. When you say ICT, they laugh in your face. They laugh in your face. And all the quant traders that I've met up with, when I compare notes, they'll say the same thing. That retail, we don't do that. It's purely just numbers. It is just purely numbers. And they can't tell you what they do because this is what they have caught on, and they now sit at boards of financial institutions and they help them make them the money, you know? And this is why I always say, I was like, if your Forex gurus were that damn good, wouldn't they be sitting on financial boards right now making the big guys money?
Why are they chasing your... This is
what I say. Why are they chasing after your 5,000 rands? Why are they chasing after your 2.5s?
Why are they promoting their services so hard?
Why do they have those sales that they run where they're like, first 100 guys, 500 rand.
People know Black Friday is around the corner.
Black Friday is around the corner, and they literally are going to do that. And this is why I say, like, can you guys not just see that your favorites, they've not grown into people that sit at boards or people that do this or people that do that. If you were to be in a coma, and I always use this example, let's just say, for an example, me, ADHD Trader. You see me 10 years ago, and I'm telling you that trading is this, trading is that, trade with the best broker in the game. You know how the lines go.
Yeah.
You know, we've killed NFP, we've chopped CPI, we've done this. Something happens to you, you get into a coma 10 years later. Look at all of your favorite traders right now. They're still doing the same thing. Still promoting brokers, still doing this, but apparently they're clearing so much amounts of money every single month. And the thing is this, again, with the whole quant conversations, I always say this, if your bots were so damn good, wouldn't they be competing on the same platform as quant bots and this and this and this and that, etc., etc., etc. Like, I met a 23-year-old who created an algorithm for a Swedish bank because he was that good with trading, mathematical side, everything. 23-year-old buying a penthouse in the middle of Sandton because he sold his algorithm to a bank in Sweden. And none of your favorite traders are on that tip. The highest ceiling that they can go is by saying, I own a broker, but they don't even own it. They're just the face.
And even the other highest ceiling is going to Dubai for the expo and making it seem like, but anyways, sorry, I'm very shady today.
It's okay. It's all right. I love it.
And you know what's crazy? When you're mentioning this particular individual, I don't know. At one point, I thought we knew the same individual. There's one guy I know. Actually, he doesn't actually sell a course. He sells a strategy done. Like, it's not a course, and it's not for beginners. Like, literally. And I have looked up to this guy for the past 5 years or so, and I've seen the price of his course go from here to a ridiculous amount, which I think it's almost clocking like 150K now. It's a strategy, and it comes with what? A serious NDA. He's taken people to court for sharing it, whatnot. He doesn't mind fighting you on it.
Really?
Because that's just how, and I'm talking about, and these are guys who are literally walking amongst us, guys who are very quiet.
Exactly, who walk amongst us, yeah.
Literally, and it's like crazy, you know, when you think about, because I've even tried to analyze these things. I remember I also went down my own rabbit hole at some point. I was analyzing every single trade he was posting.
And you know what's actually crazy about those guys is that they're comfortable with showing their whole analysis.
Yeah.
They don't hide it because they know that you won't get it. You won't get it. Because I thought at a point where, you're marking support and resistance, and he's like, huh? Don't you know? He's like, I can show all of my analysis. You still won't get it. And the funny thing about it is that they'll be like, it's so simple. It's in your face. And that's what made me crash out, because it's like, okay, if it's so simple and it's so in my face, I spent like days, I spent 5 days barely sleeping, just trying to find it in my face. And I feel as if there was a part of him that was enjoying me like scramble, because I'd come back to him and be like, am I on the right path? Am I doing this? Am I doing that? And he'll just throw like these vague things.
And when you think about it right now, the state of our current industry is that these particular guys are even raising their prices. They're not chasing for students and whatnot. But let's also talk about this though. We do need the guys who are selling the 5K courses. We do need them to push the envelope for the industry.
Do you really think that they are pushing it? Are they really pushing it? Like, are they genuinely pushing it? Like, let's be real. I mean, if you look at, when did you guys start doing
The
Top Trader? Like what year?
2020, just before COVID, actually.
Before COVID,
yes.
Before COVID, cool. And that's when trading was like becoming pretty...
around 2018. Trading was like,
trading was coming up. Same here as well, 2018. Has the industry changed ever since, leading up to now? The people that you've brought on here, interviewed, done all of that... when you listen to certain conversations, has the industry genuinely changed? Has there been like I see we're moving in this direction?
I mean, I'll be honest, there are changes in terms of... How can I explain this actually? I'm trying to find the best way to explain. You'll notice changes with particular individuals. Particular, and that particular is very particular. But the general overview is that the industry has kind of just moved from here to here, and I think it's a thing of, it's not an information on it's a thing of money thing. Like, years ago we used to make this much, now we're making I used to be able to make 100K, now I can make 200K. And that's all the gap there is there. But when you talk to the particular guys, you find out that no, this thing goes beyond just that. Information, access as well to particular individuals, you know? So I think in that regard, no, generally no. It's still the same thing. The people are regurgitating the same stuff.
Listen, yeah, like... I think there's a bit of more accountability that's there in the industry now, because you now know that if you do this, it's gonna come out. Disgruntled clients, there's Rydell who does his investigations and all that stuff. It's gonna come out. We're at a stage now where if you're not doing good, like if you're a scammer, it's gonna come out to some degree. But even the way that people still scam today, it hasn't really changed. It hasn't changed. The industry hasn't really grown that much. And this is why I was telling you earlier, where it's just like, I want to leave the social media side and go more into like the behind the scenes of how trading works and how this works and that works, etc. Because I've been in the trading industry of just like dipped in and out, but I've been paying attention to it since 2018, and nothing has really changed. Nothing has really changed. The best of the best gurus that people still look up to even today are still pushing brokers. Are still saying trade with the best. Even just the lines, the slogans don't change.
It's the same thing.
Chop CPI.
The same script.
It's literally the same script. It's the same script. And I think even for me, this is why when I came in to do ADHD Trader, I came in as my authentic self. I didn't want to hide anything. I've gone through similar problems as you and me, and I'm willing to learn. Maybe I'll have a new way of trading, adapting to the markets. Maybe you'll teach me something new. I came in as an open canvas, right? That's why I think even my engagements, if you see, I'm always engaging with people on my thing, because I want to let people know that as much as I may be in maybe a further, level when it comes to trading than you are, I've gone through similar trials and tribulations. I still have losing streaks. I still have winning streaks. I still feel there's still sometimes moments in my trading where I feel as if I'm an absolute failure, where I've blown an account, for an example, or a trade didn't go accordingly. Like we're in the same industry together, and we're all trying to get to a certain place. It may not be the exact same, but we want to find success in trading, right? And we're all working to that level type of a vibe, So I'm open with where I'm at. Hey, I'm learning this, or I don't understand this and this and this and that. And it's actually crazy because it's gotten me opportunities, not just, it's gotten me opportunities, and it's gotten me recognition from people that I look up to genuinely, like people who are behind the scenes, right? You'd be shocked at what these brokers and these financial institutions, they know us traders. They actually watch us. I was very shocked. I found this out at FMIS, where they actually pay attention now to this trader, that trader, etc., etc. I was watching someone on the podium do their little talk on the podium, and you know how FMIS does it. They carefully select speakers to go onto the podium. I got pulled aside by one of the speakers, and they're like, I actually saw you watch my talk. I'm such a big fan of you. And she is so deep in the position behind the scenes in terms of just trading and financial institutions. And she was like, I really like the way that you're just who you are. You're authentic, you're open. I can see a lot of, people gravitate towards you type of a vibe, And it's gotten me opportunities. It's gotten me into rooms where I never thought I'd ever be, with quant traders even. You get what I'm trying to say? And then you look at and then you bring up certain names with these people, and the things that they say, they're just like, that guy? The things that people speak about. And you know what they're looking for now in terms of the next type of the trading industry is moving into something different, where a lot of South African traders will be left behind.
Yeah.
True. We're moving into a very different space now, and these guys are not seeing it. They're not picking up on it. And that's why I say, let's move into that different industry now, because it's going to leave behind all of these people who didn't feel the need to maybe just move differently, didn't feel the need to pay attention to the brand that they possess, the PR that they have with the audience. they think that what they're doing publicly right now is not going to touch them. Like, people are still going to come to them. They're still going to flock. They're still going to buy their services, no matter what news comes out about that specific person, right? Yes, you'll still have brokers who will take them on because they have the audience, right? It hasn't really shifted. It hasn't really changed. It's still the same thing that they're still currently stuck on. But there is a period that we're shifting into that they're not paying attention to. And a lot of these traders, rightfully so, will be left behind. 100%.
Just to add on, I think they're also stuck. They can't move.
They're stuck.
Because they're so deep within whatever it is that they're doing.
They're so stuck.
They cannot go anywhere.
And they're so deep. And I always tell people, like, guys, the Forex trading industry is not what you think it is. There's a vicious monster that swallows a lot of these people whole. Like, a lot of them whole. And yeah, it's them getting addicted to how people view them. It's them, you know, a lot of these people can't trade because they're so stuck in that mentality of wanting to flip, right? Flipping an account is not a strategy. Let's just start there. It's not a strategy, guys. It's not a strategy. It's not learning how to flip accounts is not a strategy, and it doesn't keep you consistent. It doesn't keep you growing in the trading industry, right? Again, with the markets right now, people aren't realizing the markets are changing. And majority of them are falling off really, really, really quickly because they don't actually take the time to open up themselves and learn more. That's why people look at me and they're like, "You crazy for wanting to go into quant. Just stick here." And I'm like, actually, that's where the trading industry is shifting into. It's literally shifting in there. I don't know if you've seen, there's a guy on TikTok now where he's one of the few people who's actually open about using maths in his strategy. He's very small right now, but he's going to take off soon. He's going to take off really, really soon.
I think we might know the same person. I think we possibly might know the same person.
He's going to take off really, really, really soon, but a lot of people are not in the trading industry to want to learn, to want to do better. They just see it as an out, as an escape. So for as long as you still use trading as an escape and you market to people that it is an escape, are we really growing?
There's so much more to talk about. Let's do smart money concepts right now.
Yeah.
Actually, let's talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Which part of SMC is misunderstood?
Market structure understanding. A lot of traders don't actually understand market structure. They don't. And you know what's funny? I've seen your favorites analyze the markets and you're like, like, what? And a lot of even especially when it comes to, because SMC and ICT, they go into like the same type of umbrella and stuff. And a lot of them just do not have market structure understanding. Like, if you were to tell them, do top-down analysis, like, do that, they're stuck. They genuinely are stuck. People will think that a change of character is a reversal, and no, it doesn't necessarily mean it's what phase of the reversal are you in? And they can never actually tell you, because you could be in internal structure of a reversal, which a lot of people get trapped in, or you can be in a external, structure of a reversal. They can't tell the difference. They just think that the moment that the change of character or break of structure happens, that's it. We're now in cells, but they don't know that it's temporary. It's just for retracement purposes. And a lot of the people that come to me, they will know what SMC is. They will know how to trade it and stuff. Like, they'll know how to tell you what it is and what to look out for. But market structure is just sideways. And then you watch your favorites, and they're really popular and people think they know how to trade. And then you actually sit down and you're like, okay, cool. Let's see how they analyze this. And you look at it and you're like, what? what is this? What is this? What phase are you truly in? Are you in a retracement of a 15-minute time frame for a 4-hour directional bias? Like, do you guys know where you are at? And half of the time they don't know. They never know. And they always get clapped all the time.
Yeah, and I've actually noticed with speaking with a lot of people over the years that market structure is, to people, are actually profitable. Let me put it like that. Market structure is something that's so important. And what is market structure? Because even me, myself, I asked that question because I'm like, yeah, no, I hear these people are talking about this market structure. Too many people are talking about it, but not enough people are really understanding it. And I know that someone's at home, they're like, Kanye, I hear what you're saying, but please give me a direction.
You know what's actually funny? What's this? I always say to my students, if you can understand market structure back to front, there is no strategy under the sun that you won't understand.
Sure.
Like the moment that you can solidify the foundation of market structure, you can chop and change whatever strategy that you want. You'll quickly learn things, right? One of the things that I always suggest people that, you know, if they really want to truly understand market structure, but they look down on it so much because of the SMC and ICT culture, support and resistance, break and retest. You guys really don't understand how powerful that is for you to understand market structure. It is so simple. Like, market structure tells you what price wants to do next. It tells you, like, I feel as if market structure is probably one of the, you won't get it right all the time because the markets are going to do what they want to do, right? But market structure is the most loudest form of the markets telling you what it's wanting to do next, right? And people dismiss support and resistance. And I'm like, why? And then from there, market structure isn't just about like your support and resistance. Timeframes go hand in hand. There are pairs, right? There are pairs. You need to see if you get, for an example, if you see your setup on the 4-hour time frame, right? Which time frame goes hand in hand with the 4-hour time frame, right? If the 4-hour time frame is telling you that, hey, listen, I'm in a retracement zone of a buy. I'm waiting for you to click buy on your MT5 or whatever, right? All right, your price has gone into your zone and you're waiting for it to buy. People are just going to look at that 4-hour time frame and be like, and send to their trades, right? Because that's their price level. But there's so much that goes into market structure in different types of time frames, right? And you need to pair it with the right one. So then 15-minute, for an example, H4 and 15-minute go hand in hand, in my opinion, right? You need to check with the 15-minute time frame if they're ready to go into your buys. I use this example with my students all the time. When you're ready to go to the mall, are you ready to go to the mall? Like, you good to go? Are you sure? Who's taking you to the mall? Your mom. Is your mom ready? Is she dressed? Is she dressed? Is she off the phone call? Is she good to go? If your mom ain't ready to leave, then you're not going. Meaning that if the 15-minute time frame is not showing you structurally that they're not ready to go just yet, then the 4 hours is not going either. It's not moving. So it's more than just like supports and resistance. You're combining it now with time frames, right? Time frames, 4-hour time frame, 15-minute time frame. And I even told this on TikTok as well. They asked me, what was the strategy that you used to get you from 5,000 to 880K?
Yeah.
And I was like, it was break and retest. And I'll tell you guys now what I still do, even forever and ever on mental now. 4-hour time frame, I'd look for where the direction is going. If we're buying, cool. Pull out the Fibonacci retracement. I love Fibonacci. People look down on Fibonacci, but I love it. It really does help, again, with identifying potential zones, not just in the higher time frame, but also what's happening on the lower time frame. I'll pull out my Fibonacci, look for my golden zones. Let's just say price is now operating on a 60-minute, on a 60% order block, fair value gap, resistance, or whatever, also support, whatever the case may be, right? I'm literally going to drop down to the 15-minute time frame. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to wait for a breakout of an area, retest into my golden zone of the Fibonacci retracement. At the time then, I don't use it now, but at the time then I use candlestick patterns as a confirmation, like a bullish engulfing, for an example, within the Fibonacci zone of the 15-minute, to see like, okay, are my confluences aligning for the 4-hour time frame to continue into buys? Is it aligning with the 15-minute time frame as well too? Is the 15-minute time frame telling me again that I broke out of this zone, I'm retesting into support or an order block or a fair value gap in your Fibonacci, and I'm good to go? And a lot of these, they don't. And I say, whatever you find on the higher time frame, you rinse and repeat the same thing on a lower time frame. Just know which time frames are aligned with whatever setup you find it on. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I'm with you.
And support and resistance is such a big role in people understanding it. But I have to always undo and unlearn a lot of people that come to me. They'll be like, I know ICT and stuff like that. And then I'll be like, okay, as we go through learning the course and stuff like that, market structure understanding, and I'll be like, you know what? Okay, we're going to start you from scratch now. Understand, break, and retest, you know? And you know, the funny thing is that I teach, obviously, break and retest, SMC, support. I do all of that, right? Because at the end of the day, it forms into one for me. A lot of my students will go through my entire mentorship and they'll be completely comfortable with never ever touching or trading SMC. Because they understand market structure, and break and retest, support and resistance is so simple. You don't need to overcomplicate your strategy. Just because you're finding more rules to trade doesn't make you a better trader.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
No, I'm with you.
I don't know if I've actually answered what market structure is.
To some degree, you really did answer and over answer. maybe somebody else feels otherwise. Does SMC create real edge or just overconfident retail traders?
Overconfident retail traders. I'll use me as an example. Really, really, really overconfident, because they have this thing in the back of their minds or in the front of their minds that we're trading like the banks. We're trading like the banks. The banks are trading like this. The banks are trading like that, you know? And then when you meet, like I say, a quant trader who actually sits on the boards, and they'll laugh at you and they'll be like, what? You know? And you know what I've been getting into? I've been getting into understanding the interview process of getting into like trading with hedge funds.
Okay.
There's an interview process that you go through. And when you listen to people tell you the interview process, because they'll tell you, okay, here's a chart. How would you solve this? Or what strategy do you possess that will bring, that will be beneficial to having you basically trade these funds and make more people money, right? And they'll ask you what your strategy is, and they kick people who say ICT and MCC right out the door. Right out the door. They get laughed at and they're like, no, we don't want this. And, you know, they speak about like mean reversion strategies and this and that, etc., etc. And when you listen to like the strategies that these people have gone into interviews with, it's never SMC. It's probably these strategies that you've already heard of, but you've looked down upon because you're being told that ICT and SMC is, you know.
You know what's crazy? There's a lady. I know she has an institutional background, and now she's been immersed into the CFD online space now with us now. And she's been trading for over 20 years, and she was laughed at by retail traders, and they said, no, this person can't trade because of the way they trade.
Yeah, that actually happened to my mentor as well. Yeah. So yeah, he does his thing for a broker, right? Yeah. He's a market analyst for a broker and stuff. And one of the comments that he showed me when I was visiting Cape Town last month, actually, and I had a quick lunch sit down with him, he showed me one of the comments on the company's YouTube channel, and he's like, cheap suits and cheap watch and cheap analysis. This guy can't trade.
I mean, what is up with this thing?
And it's just like, and you know what? And you know what the funny thing is he's gonna act like it didn't get to him, but I know it stung him a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just like, wow, like if you guys truly don't know, do you? Like you guys really, 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 truly don't know how this is actually real trading. And it can be so in your face. And they still won't even see it. They still wouldn't even see it. And yeah, the comments that he gets, you can't trade, you're talking nonsense, this and this and this and that. And that watch wasn't cheap. That suit was definitely not cheap. But yeah.
Just to clarify for people, when we are bringing these as examples up, we're not excusing the people who actually can't trade, the popular mentors who actually can't trade, because I think, you know, it's gonna kind of just fall onto them and be like, oh yeah, just because we speaking about institutional people who trade on an institutional level being called out by retail unprofitable people telling people that they can't trade, we still know there's still mentors out there who still can't trade, and we are not making excuses for them on any level. There
actually are a lot of mentors that can't trade. And you know what's funny? I've just gotten to a stage where I always tell people, like, when you get into trading, please put your head down. If you need to go off social media, go off social media.
Important.
Go off social media, because you're going to start comparing your journey to that person, and you won't even know that you're better than them. You won't even know that you're better than them. There's so many people who have come to me and they'll be like, yeah, I'm with this person. And I'd be shocked. I'd be like, but I thought you could trade. And these guys, they will, you know how disgruntled customers are.
Yeah.
They will expose and they'll go into depth about everything. And they'll just be telling me, they'll send me proof even. Screenshots, this and this and this and this. And I just be like, wow. And you know what's even more crazier? My education now, my new content now, is because Think Markets has sponsored my educational TikToks now, because that's where I initially wanted to go in the beginning. I eventually got lost in the sauce when people started looking to me like, is this mentor good? Is this mentor bad? And stuff like that. But I was like, listen, I kind of wanted to like go back to what I initially wanted to do, where I wanted to give fully informed information and education to people who don't have access, but they need like just the guidance. They need the structure. They need this and they need that, right? And obviously, I'm showing to you my knowledge. I'm telling you, listen, I can trade. I know why this is happening. I know why that affects this specific department and this and this and that. And they'll still be like, where are you getting your information from? You're talking nonsense. You're talking nonsense. And they will tag their mentor. And, you know, you could literally bring things like solid reasonings as to the reason why the markets are operating like this is due to the economy that's happening in the US with Trump and his policies and the tariffs that he's trying to like do. You would go like deep into it explaining, and they'll be like, where are you getting your information from? That is absolutely nonsense. That's not what moves the markets. And they'll tag their mentor there and they'll be like, go and get his mentorship. And then you look into that dude's account, you do your research, because who's telling you that the reason why the markets are moving like this is not like this? Oh, the markets are planned. The markets are this, the markets are that. To some degree, maybe sometimes, yeah. And then you look at the mentor and that mentor can't trade. That mentor genuinely can't trade. So we're just chatting.
Yeah, that's it. That's all. Order blocks, fair value. So I'm not an SMC person, but order blocks, fair value gaps, liquidity grabs.
What else? Optimized trading entries, which is just Fibonacci at the end of the day. Like,
What are people missing about these things? What is it that people miss about these things? Because I feel like it's, you know what, it's lingo that got introduced into the trading world, obviously, over the past couple of years. And I think it's cool to say it. It's cool to go around and say, liquidity grab.
Like if you were to, it's so annoying. But again, like I said, I was a part of that, you know. When you realize, you know, instead of support and resistance, people use supply and demand, you know. Supply is obviously, the order block there that's nearest to the resistance, and then the order block that's nearest to, the demand order block is nearest to the support and stuff like that. Then you've got like optimized trade entry, where they make it optimized trade entry is literally break and retest into Fibonacci price levels.
Yeah.
Like, why must it be so, like, as long as you're making money, however you choose to make money, no matter the strategy, the main aim is to make money, is it not? So why do you feel as if that you need to possess all of these type of lingos, fair value gaps? Before fair value gaps, it was called imbalance. And then 2 years later, it was now called fair value gaps type of a vibe. Now, divergence. We all know divergence, RSI, this and this. There's now something called SMT. What's it called? Yeah, SMT. It's the new lingo for divergence.
I mean, people need to sell courses, right?
Right? It's the new lingo for like, and then change of character has now moved to change in state of delivery. Like every time there's something new, and this is how I also got lost in the source.
Yeah.
Because you think like, oh, there's a new thing called change in state of delivery, and it's preventing you from being profitable. And now you have to go take up this. I've spent a lot of money that I didn't have, a lot of money that my girlfriend funded me. She's paid for a lot of my courses. And I've spent a lot of money, and you think these mentors are teaching you something really, 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 really new. And then you get into the course and you realize that SMT, divergence, I learned that in the beginning of my trading stages. Fair value gaps. Wasn't it called imbalance? Wasn't that called imbalance back then? Like,
I think it's generally something I realize about the masses. People are not and I think people need to wake up to this. People are not particularly looking for strategies. They're just looking for a place where they get good customer service. I think
thank you.
That's where it's important. And people miss that because they're chasing the strategy, whereas you should be chasing the quality of.
Exactly. And my mom works in, she works in the tourism industry, and a lot of what she does is literally strictly customer service, right? And my mom is really good at what she does. She's super good. And she's really great at it because she loves it. She enjoys it, right? And she's able to offer that good customer service, right? And I don't know what it is with people that pay mentors money. It's as if they're not deserving of that customer service at all. And, a lot of people come to me when they're in my mentorship, and they're so like grateful for the customer service. And in my mind, I'm like, it's the bare minimum.
Literal bare minimum. Get admin. It's admin.
It's literally the bare minimum. And you watch your write fixes and you see that the customer service with a lot of these gurus is only there when they want your money.
Either do immediate payment.
Make it immediate type of thing. Somebody was like to me, somebody made payment for my mentorship, right? And I was like, okay, I'll add you once the payment reflects. Cool, whatever. Like, and they'll be like, oh no, they'll come to me like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't make immediate payments. And in my mind, I'm like, the money will reflect when the money will reflect. Like, it's okay. It's all right. Don't worry. But obviously, due to me and how I protect myself, once your reference and the money clears in, that's when I'll add you into the group, right? And you get people who will ask me all of this information about my course, what it entails, and this and this and that. I'll give them the information. I won't hear from them for like weeks. I'll forget about them. Okay, you asked about it. Whenever you choose to take it or not, that's okay. I'm not seeking, I'm not desperate, I'm not rushing for students. And they'll come back to me, they're like, I know, I'm so sorry. I contacted you 2 months ago. I'm so sorry. I don't want to come off as me wasting your time. And I'm like, bruh, it's okay. It's fine. And then, you give them, you're there. I tell them, listen, if you need me, text me. I'll respond to you. I might take time because I'm busy, but text me. I'll answer your questions. And they don't believe it. They're so shocked. And they put me on this pedestal. Like, you're the greatest mentor that I know. And I'm like, guys, this is just bare minimum. Because they'll go to all of these mentors who will treat them like dirt. But they're out there selling, hey guys, I will be there for you like A, B, C, D, F, G. And they make it seem like it's such a terrible thing to hold your mentor accountable. The reason why you went to them is because they promised you that they could give you this service. And the moment that they don't give you that service, it's okay. You can complain. It's all right. You spent money thinking that you were going to be receiving this and you're not receiving it. It's okay. But if you look at, the videos that R880 puts out, how they beg for like the bare minimum. They beg. They'll be like, Chief, please, I've spent all my money. Just please give me, and it's just like, this is like, how do you not forget that they need you? They need you. It's not you needing them. They need you. They need you to, in multiple ways, maybe to help it was just maintain a specific lifestyle to basically maintain, the upkeep of how they perceive themselves to the audience, right? I'm like, guys, there's things like, Consumers' Right Protection Acts. You don't know the basics. You can go and complain. They don't know that you can actually if you're not getting the service, you can dispute the money that you've deposited into a person's account and you can get it back. Like, people just somehow do not know. They lose some form of dignity when they pay a mentor.
But do you think it's a poverty mindset?
It's definitely a poverty mindset. It is, like, not to be like harsh or anything, but what I've realized, especially with the content that I put out, because I'm trying to educate people to be like, guys, you have these rights, even with traders. You have the right to ask this. You have the right to have them provide you with this information. You have the right. And the moment that you try and even teach them, and then you tell them that, hey, listen, this mentor is a scammer because of these are the type of practices they hold. Do you know the abuse that you get? That I've gotten the abuse to a point where I even told R880, I was like, dude, I don't know how you've been doing this for years, but me, I'm out. I'm completely out because the abuse that you get. And I made a TikTok video about this very recently where I said, the reason why people don't want to be told that they have these rights and that they can challenge their mentor on this and they can complain is because the moment that you do that, you've completely erased you've erased the emotional breakthrough that they've attached to that specific trader.
Yeah.
A lot of these people attach their financial breakthroughs onto us. They're like, for an example, ADHD Trader. I see her driving an M4. I see her living in this penthouse in Bantry Bay. I see her like flaunting. You know how the whole going into the iStore and you point of service machine, oops, you tap 54K out of the account to show that you have the money. They have this attachment and this obsession of ADHD Trader is going to get me out of that. And they hold on to it with dear life so tightly. They start moving around differently with how they save towards that course. They take out loans because they feel as if, no, this person's going to make me that money back. Like that dude who sold his car to get mentored. I don't know if you saw.
Which dude? No, I didn't see.
There's a guy, R880 actually posted it. There was a guy who sold his car that he used for his job to pay for a mentor who doesn't even know how to trade.
Yes, sir.
Doesn't even know how to trade. Sold his car. And we knew that your car, not only just your car is gone, your money's gone. Like, how are you going to get that money back? They attach so much of their hopes and their dreams and their goals onto that specific trader. And the moment that you say, hey, listen, you can complain if you're not getting that. They're like, no, but I'm scared. What if they kick me out of the group? What if they block me?
Whose money is it?
And I'm just like, it's your money. Like, don't be a body with your money, guys. Like, you work so hard to obtain the little money that you get, and you hand it to these people, and then you're out there and you beg and you're like, please teach me, please. But they told you, I can teach you, I can help you. But all of a sudden, you're now begging for them to hold right by you, to basically, you can't even hold them to a certain standard that you didn't even ask for.
Sure.
They came to you and they told you that this is the standard that I can uphold, and now you're begging for something that you didn't even ask for. But they told you that they can do it.
Khanyisa, before we close, hey man, there's still a lot. I
don't mind coming back.
Yeah, no, trust me, you are, because I'm just looking at my notes right now. I'm like, gee, I actually had way much more than you're yapping, which I love as well.
Yeah, I talk a lot. I'm sorry, guys.
Which is good. Is there anything else on your hearts that you want to share before we close?
Anything on my heart?
Yeah. But another hour.
What I have in my heart, right, is that I do believe that don't let the 90% scare you out of wanting to try and learn how to trade. The only reason why that number is so hard is because people do give up.
Yeah.
It's not that you can't trade. It's not that you're bad at it. It's not that you're complete failure. It's just people quit along the way. I feel as if you invest in education as much as possible and believe in yourself, right? Believing in yourself is very, very important. If you invest as much as you can in education and you believe in yourself 100%, you can make it. And it doesn't have to be 500K a day. It doesn't have to be. As long as you know that I don't need a 9 to 5 to uphold the life that I want, then you've already won in this game. If you make your 10K a month, if you make your 20K a month, if you make your 50K a month, and you know that you can take care of your family, you can take care of yourself, you've already made it. Yeah.
No, thank you so much, Khanyisa, for today. I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
I enjoyed myself too.
Yeah.
You make it so easy, and you just have that easy vibe, that comfortable vibe of just chatting.
Appreciate it so much. We'll leave all your contact details down below for people to reach out. And thanks. Guys, this was another installment with myself, Nqobile Tembane. I'll see you guys same time, same place next week, and we're out.